Namaste everyone. In today's video, I'll be sharing 5 food or drink intakes that you should be avoiding for spiritual practices. So it's for spiritual awakening, enlightenment, however you want to call it, but it's not for everyone. This journey is not for everyone. It's only if you want to begin your journey in that path. There's actually a lot more than these 5 items I'll be sharing with you, but I thought let's begin with some baby steps so you don't get, cold turkey and, it will backfire your journey. So let's begin little at a time. My name is Priya. I'm very passionate about sharing positivity with everyone, and I'm very passionate about empowering everyone to live their life to their fullest potential. We're a divine being, and we have the capability of creating our own path the way we desire. So let's make it a beautiful path for us. So let's dive in. Number 1, alcohol. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of researches that say drinking certain amount of alcohol is all right. It's actually healthy for you. There's different researches going on, and I'm not going to get into it. It's, I'm not a clinician, so I'll leave that to the clinicians. But on a spiritual level, when you drink alcohol, even on a physical level, let's face it, it goes into your blood. So anything that goes into your blood is changing the way who you are. So it's not, when you're drinking alcohol, you're basically not who you are. So you don't need to drink it to the level where you get drunk. Even if you drink a little bit, it's actually alters your brain, the way it functions a little bit. Basically, you don't have clarity. Even if you don't get to the drunk level, even if you feel like, oh, I know where I am, I know what I'm doing, I just had half a glass or whatever you guys drink. It's not about how much you drink or how much, even like a teeny bit alters the way we have clarity in our mind. So when you don't have clarity, you can't get into your higher consciousness. So if you want spiritual awakening, you have to get into that deep meditation, deep consciousness, and alcohol will not let you do that. So avoid it if you are planning to go on a spiritual journey, even for a little bit. So I have noticed some grandmasters and masters, have a little bit of all these foods and items that we say avoid later on, because they have mastered their spirituality. Once you master your level, then you have control over when you can have it and when you can't. But when you're in a journey and you're just beginning your journey, it's actually good to avoid it fully, so then you develop yourself. Once you develop yourself, so this doesn't need to be a permanent avoidance, but once you develop yourself, then you know when you can have something, when you, when you have, because you know your capacity, you know how your vessel is, and then you have more control over you. So this is totally for people who are beginning their journey. They still want to develop themselves. They want to get to a higher level, elevate their spiritual vibrations. Basically, it's for those people. Second is coffee or tea, basically caffeine. Avoid any sorts of caffeine. Caffeine is, also research has it where, some would say it's good for you and some would say it's bad for you. On a physical level, it could be good and bad. But on a spiritual level, it still alters your clarity. It alters, it dims your brain a little bit. So when it dims your brain, that's why you're able to keep going even though you're tired, so you're not tuning into your body, So you're like, okay, you have your coffee and you can keep going at it. But it's like on a spiritual level, you actually want to be aligned. You want to tune into everything, spiritually, physically, emotionally, in every way. So you actually want to avoid it so you can have more clarity, you are more grounded, and then you can go into meditations and in your higher consciousness very quickly and easily. Okay. Number 3 is fluoride. So fluoride is basically in, if you're using a faucet tap water, some people still use that, and if you're using it, then most waters would have fluoride, unless you're using a filter to filter out the fluoride. So if you're not filtering, then that fluoride is not really good for you. And you can see fluoride in your toothpaste as well. So most toothpaste. And so those things you should avoid, because that also has the capacity to dim your some level of your brain where it reduces clarity as well. And it's interesting because I saw this from Master Sri Akashan, and he was explaining, and it kind of made me think about our society as a whole. And he mentioned this, and it kind of like intrigued me, because I was like, we kind of see all the things we're telling people to avoid, we kind of see it almost everywhere. And so it's like our society cannot function the way it does if all this is avoided. And it's like the way everything is made up, the way things are planted basically, and how everything is controlled in this society is so we can function the way we are currently. Because not everyone can be in a higher consciousness according to you know, the current society. If everyone is in a higher consciousness, then we won't function the same way. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing if everyone is in a higher consciousness, but our planet won't look the same, will be different. So basically, if you think about it, that's why all the products still have it, but then as your own, like in your spiritual journey, you have to decide where you want to be. You're okay with the human level, and you know, you just want to go to work, do your thing, have a family, and you're happy with that, then that's okay. But if you want to elevate your spiritual life, if you want to elevate your spiritual vibrations, you want to get more powers, you want to get, you know, tune into the powers that we have, because it's there, but we ignore it naturally. So if you actually want to stop ignoring it and tune into it, then you kind of have to avoid these things, all the products that are dimming our brain, are dimming our clarity and all that. So fluoride, for fluoride, you can use non-fluoride toothpaste. So I usually order mine online. So you can actually find them. And if you still use tap water, then you can you put a filter in where you don't get the fluoride water for intake. So that's 3. Number 4 is garlic. And garlic is one of my favorite item in most of cooked dishes, but it's something that I started avoiding for the last 4 to 5 months, probably about 4 months. And I didn't realize that dishes can still taste good without garlic. So it's something that I discovered recently, that you can still make delicious dishes without garlic. But I do miss them sometimes. But garlic is really good for your body. It's good for your physical body. It's medicinal, but it's not good for your spiritual body. So if you think about it, all the cartoons that we have seen, or even some movies, they always show garlic as something that scares off the spirits, or scares off like the vampires and stuff like that. But if you think about it, we have a spirit in us as well, or around us, however you want to say it. So we're a spiritual being. So that even though it's good for our physical body, it's that garlic is not good for our spiritual body, and therefore we cannot develop spiritually. We cannot tune into the spiritual awakening if we use garlic. So it's good to avoid garlic. And the 5th one is onion. Onion works the same way as garlic. If you think about it, when you cut an onion, your body reacts right away. You start crying. You, like, you know, your tears come down. Like, your body reacts. So imagine how it is inside of you. The spirit works the same way. It's good for the body, and I love onion, to be honest. I used to use them in all of them, even in pizza. I used to put as one of my topping, but I avoid it for the last 4 months, and I don't actually miss it anymore. But it is very difficult when you avoid all this. So garlic, just to track back a little bit, garlic and onion also is bad for the spirit, but it's good for the body. So for spiritual awakening, if this is your pathway, then avoid it, but not if you have any ailments that you actually need this, then, you know, don't avoid it. Talk to your doctor about it before doing anything. But one of the main thing I wanted to talk about is all these things that we talk about, physical ailments and stuff. You can actually, you don't need the garlic and onion to help you out. You can actually do some yoga, breathing techniques to build your body, where you don't need other ingredients to help you build the body. You just use your own workout, like yoga and breathing, to build your body. Then you're stronger. You don't need these other onion and garlic. But in the case that you're not able to do them physically, then you can add them. And this is just like a guideline, I would say. It's not something that you need to first of all do permanently, and it's not something, I'm not trying to say if you don't do this, you can't get to spirituality. There are so many ways of getting to spirituality, and all you need to do is, it might take you longer if you still have them, or you might just need to find other ways to get to spiritual awakening or continue your spiritual journey. But if you avoid these, then it's actually a lot easier. I, from the last 4 months, have experienced, and I avoided more than these. I'm just sharing these 5 with you. But I can share the rest later on a different video, because I would like to talk about fasting and stuff as well. But if this is good enough for you, even if this is a lot for you, just try one of them. But I have done all 5 of them plus extra more, and I have been feeling very good about, not just physically, I feel good, I feel healthy, but also at the same time, I feel like I can go into meditations a lot deeper than ever before in my life. And I have done so many meditations with so many different people, and they were all good meditations, but now I can go a lot deeper. And it's not just about going a lot deeper, I can go quicker into the meditation than other times. So I have to say, from experience, I do see a huge difference from avoiding these things. But like I said, make sure you test it out for yourself before believing in anything. Because everybody's body works differently, everybody's mind works differently, your belief system is different. So, make sure you test things out before you do anything permanently. And I don't know if this journey, if this avoiding all these food is going to be permanent for me, but for now, for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to add them that I can see. Also, if you notice, some of the some of the religious temples, like Hindu temples and other religions as well, they avoid certain food in their temples. So that's garlic and obviously vegetarian, but garlic and onion is definitely avoided in Hindu temples. And I never asked why. So my mom always says, yeah, priests don't eat them. And so I thought, okay, because priests don't eat them, when they're cooking, they're not cooking with it. But if you think about it, it's in the temple where the spiritual vibration, the frequency of the vibration is very high. It's like they're avoiding onion and garlic, and it's like, we didn't know this, we just don't question about it. So it's very important to actually start, reflecting, be aware, because it just becomes so natural. Like, it's like a habit. You just go and you just do your thing. But it's like you need to kind of reflect on all these practices and kind of do your own research and see what happens to you. And then believe in it and practice what you believe in. So with that, I know the video is going to get longer, so I'm going to stop there, but I could talk about fasting in my next video because I think it's a very important topic as well. But if you learned anything in this video, please click the like button, share this video with your family and friends as well. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe and also click the notification button, because I'm very, very determined to create weekly videos for you to empower you to live your fullest, because we are all divine being capable of creating our own path, and let's make it a beautiful path for all of us. Thank you. Until then, namaste.